somewhere to find a house for sale in this tight market where homes are just flying off the shelves so fast. Where are we going to find the house that's perfect for you? Well, stay tuned. We're going to talk about that. My name is Laurie with eXp Realty right here in Wasilla, Alaska. I'm an agent. All right, let's get into those 7 tips. First great place everybody knows about is the MLS. So that's a multiple listing service. Every house that's for sale and on the market that is being listed with a realtor on one side or the other, and some for sale by owners, are going to be listed on the MLS, multiple listing service. So you'll need to get a website that you can shop for those on. I'll put mine below because I want you to go ahead and check it out if you want to see what's going on in our market. And then you can see the houses that are there. So that's a pretty obvious first place to be starting to look for properties. Next, you're going to want a good realtor. Realtors have friends. Friends have listings coming up. Listings coming up are your advantage to get to know about them ahead of time before they hit the market. So that's pretty cool. Also, realtors can get a list of coming soon houses for you. They'll usually only have one property list, one picture showing the house, but it's going to tell you all the details and where it's located. And then we can find out the day that's going to come to the market, and we can get our appointment, be the first one in on day one to look at that house. So realtors can help with that. Realtors also may know builders and different people, and they just got the buzz about what's going on in the neighborhood on housing and may be able to find you some homes that just aren't on that MLS yet. So they're an absolute essential, in my opinion, when looking for a home in a tight market. Next, distressed properties. You may be driving around looking for a house for sale in a neighborhood. I would suggest that actually. If there's a certain place you want to live, why don't you drive around? Take a look. See if there's for sale by owner signs or distressed properties in that neighborhood. So you can check that out. First, we're going with the MLS as number 1. Number 2, knowing a good realtor. Number 3 is looking for distressed properties. So what's a distressed property? It's a property that may not be being taken care of. Right now, this time of year in Alaska, you can tell if the driveway hasn't been used because we have quite a bit of snow. And that is a tell-all that that property is not really being used right now. Could be a vacation home for some snowbirders that come in and out. And it could also be a house that just needs some TLC and no one's been living there. In the summertime, you can tell by how long the grass is lots of times and the overgrown yards and things like that. Or if the house just looks pretty shabby on the outside. That's what I would call a distressed property. So if you see one of those that kind of looks like the blueprint of the outside of the house as something you'd be interested in, that's definitely noteworthy of writing down the address and having your realtor check into that property a little bit. Sometimes those distressed properties need a little maintenance and some repairs. So that's what I call instant equity too. So that could be a win-win for everybody. So that's definitely one of them. Next, number 4, we're going to talk about for sale by owners. For sale by owners are definitely an opportunity to buy a house. Some realtors shy away from those. I certainly don't. I've been pretty successful in working out with the for sale by owners to pay for my commission with a successful sell of a house. In the event that they won't, then we'll have that conversation and you may need to pay your realtor their commission at closing of the house. But I've been hugely successful with that, and most realtors are able to roll that cost into the closing on the house. So we can talk about that if we find the property there, but that is an opportunity. We definitely need to look at for sale by owners. I strongly suggest that. So how are we going to find those? You can driving around, you can look and see if there's some signs in the yard. You have to remember, these are not all savvy for sale by owner people. Not going to know for sure to put it these other places. Let's list them out. There's Zillow. They have some for sale by owners. You can click the button up there and find just those to look at when you visit that site. Craigslist. People are still marketing on Craigslist. Newspaper, depending on how old they are and how long it's been since they sold the house, they might still think that that's a good idea. So there is that option. Marketplace and Matsu for sale or rent on Facebook is a really good place to look for sale by owner homes as well. So you can grab your local Facebook pages and look for sale by owner homes in your neighborhood too, and see if there's some that pop up there that may not be other places. So what do you do when you find one of those? Just contact your realtor. Let her get you in, get you showing those homes and see if you can get in them. Got to remember, in a seller's market, speed is what it's all about. How fast can you get in there? How fast can you look at that house? How fast can you write an offer if you know it's the home for you? Seller's market's way different than a buyer's market. You just really have to move forward as quickly as you can. Next, the number 5th thing I'm going to talk about today, besides all of the other great ideas, is farming. It's something that's a very, very common word to a realtor. Realtor knows what farming is. Farming for a realtor is to work an area, pass out signs, let them know that you're a realtor, and if they'd like to sell their home, you'd love to help them with that. I got to tell you, experience I had last year. I had a woman that really wanted to buy a house on a certain street. She loved the view that was on that street, and she just wanted to live on that street, period. The home she wanted to buy, she wasn't able to get her offer in fast enough, so she was just so heartbroken. And so I said, well, let me work that neighborhood. I knocked on every door, left flyers where they didn't answer the door, talked to several people and asked them if they'd be willing to sell their home if the price was correct. I had 4 people out of like 15 houses that said yes, they would, and they'd be planning to move in the next 3 years anyways, and one was willing to move right away, and others were like 6 months out, and others were just opened. So asking is sometimes just as simple as that. So if there's a particular house you have your eye on, ask your realtor if she'll farm that house. If there's a particular neighborhood you want to be in, ask your realtor if she'll farm that neighborhood. I know I certainly would. Most realtors would be happy to. So that is definitely an option. Thing number 6 I want to bring to your attention is to not be, shh, I'm moving. I don't want to tell anyone. We call that being a secret agent here, when we're not letting everybody know that we're a real estate agent. But for you, being a buyer and ready to move, it's a great thing to tell your coworkers, your family, your friends that you're looking to move soon. Have they seen anything cool coming on the market? And then you can have those conversations and they'll keep their eyes open. Lots of times they'll be the ones that say, hey, there's a house down my street, da 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 da. And we can check that one out too. So that is a big deal. And the last one I want to talk about is item number 7. It's new construction. If you're just not finding the house you want, don't be afraid of new construction. New construction, it will take longer to close, 6 to 9 months. They're getting backlogged with orders right now on their houses as well. And the cost of lumber is going up and all of that. The neat thing about new construction is you know the price when you get under contract. Now, if you do a bunch of upgrades after you've settled the price and signed, then you don't know your price anymore. The only thing that can, change your price would be if your well needed to be drilled a lot deeper than their standard amount they're allowing on there. Okay, so you have control over your price, you know approximately when it's going to close, and you can get the house built the way you'd like it to. And we often have a lot list for you to choose which lot you'd like to have your home on. So if you have the time, you could definitely work with the builder. Most builders like you to have some money down, and they like you to put down what you're going to need at closing ahead of time so that they can use that against getting the loan to purchase the property. But not all builders need that. Sometimes you can get into a build for as little as $5,000 and they're up and running to build your house. So that may be an option for you. I don't know. But there's a lot of places we can look for houses as a team, working to find a house for you, and those are just a few of them. So good luck with your house hunt, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you give me a thumbs up, I know that will make me smile, and that would be great. I hope you have an awesome day. If I can be of any help, reach out.